Hey everybody. So the thing that my biggest takeaway from this class is how to effectively communicate with other team members when doing an online class like this because it's all virtual, so we don't have the opportunity to communicate face to face. And this is unlike a lot of other online classes that I've had before because this one is heavily focused on communication. So that was my biggest takeaway overall from this course, because how to properly do it and effectively do it to ensure that everybody was on the same page with what was going on. And then my other big key takeaway was knowing, specifically knowing your group and team and how they learn best. So that way, when in the role of the supervisor, you can distribute the information and the tasks to ensure that everybody's needs are being met, to ensure that everybody gets a clear understanding of what is expected of them for the week. So being sure to do different styles, whether it's a video, bullet point, pictures, just different types like that, because everybody's learning style is different. So it really made me aware that the importance of hitting on every different learning style. So how am I going to apply this to learning? How am I going to apply this learning to my future jobs or future groups? So the big thing is being flexible and able to adapt to different situations that may come up that obviously weren't planned upon, because we all know life happens. So unexpected things are going to come up. So just being able to be aware and of those different situations that may arise, and how to adapt and how to bounce back and not let it become a barrier. But as a team, be able to grow and push through that obstacle that our team is faced with. And then also another thing is communicating that everybody is on the same page, because with this class specifically, we started out, I would say that everybody was kind of scared and timid to communicate, which caused our scores to be super low at the beginning, because we weren't ensuring that everybody was on the same page, that the tasks were clearly stated. If there was any confusion, we kind of just went with it. But so that is a really big takeaway that I'm going to go and use in my future jobs or future group projects, to ensure that that I'm even asking for clarifying questions, even if I do understand what's going on, because more than likely, with as big a group as we had of 10 people, more than likely I'm not the only one with a question. So just being that person to take the initiative to, ask for clarification. So that's one big takeaway that I'm going to use in future jobs. So strengths that I noticed that I have from the Dessler text is from chapter 10 specifically, using motivation and incentives. For me, I guess I'm one who this personally works for me. So when people have incentives for me and motivate me, that definitely makes my work ethic and makes me want to try harder and do the best that I can do. So in return, I know that works on me, so that's what I try and do to my followers as a leader. And I would say that I have a very good success rate at doing that, because my goal of doing it is I like to get to know my followers and see what their strengths are, so then that way I can kind of alter, and so that way I can kind of alter the what the motivation or the incentive may be, in order to try and get their work to go to the next level. So then when looking at the Johnson textbook, a strength that I say that I have from that is looking at specifically the ethical perspectives. So the utilitarianism. So obviously utilitarianism is do the greatest good for the greatest number of people. And I would say that that's something a strong suit of mine, because I always look at the bigger picture when making a decision, and I always take into consideration, who is this going to affect, and how many people is it going to be affected, and I always try and weigh my decisions based upon obviously the greater good. Who's going to who's going to benefit the most from this, and that's how I kind of weigh like the pros and cons out. And then something that I would say that I need to improve upon is learning how to meet everybody's different learning styles effectively. Like I said before, that was one of the most important lessons that I learned. How important it is to like learn your team members' learning styles, but something that I've learned while serving 3 times as a supervisor and actually a 4th now, that I'm not aware how to properly meet those needs, everybody's different learning styles. I know how I learn best and how to meet my needs, but it's still a work in progress how to effectively meet the needs for my followers that don't learn the same way I do. So that's it.